Okay, so what's the purpose of composite functions? It helps us compose a function, but now we have the ability to actually solve equations like this. So let's solve letter A first. So we want to get the x by itself. Right now it's stuck inside of this sine inverse, so I'm going to first isolate that. So I get sine inverse of x equals pi over 2. So now that I've done that, now I can undo this by taking the sine of both sides, because when I do that, that's going to undo this here and leave me with x. And I know that the sine of pi over 2 is 1. Okay, looking over here, I need to get this 3x out of that cosine inverse. So first I need to isolate it, and then I'll do the inverse cosine, inverse of the inverse cosine. So divide first by -3, and I get cosine inverse of 3x equals negative pi over 3. So to undo that cosine inverse, we're going to take the cosine of both sides. When I do that, those will cancel, and I'm left with 3x here equals the cosine of negative pi over 3. Okay, so what is the cosine of negative pi over 3? So negative pi over 3 is going to put me here. Cosine is going to be positive there. And let's see, so if you have your chart out, you can see what the cosine of pi over 3 is. The cosine of pi over 3 is 1/2. And since this is going to be positive, it's going to be 1/2. So I can replace that there, to divide everything by 3 to get the x by itself, and you get that x equals 1/6. So we're going to get more in depth with how to solve these types of problems in section 6.3. That's what the entire thing covers, but these are just some basic ones to kind of get you started with solving just some basic cosine inverse and sine inverse problems.